Let's get things over to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Dave Aguilera. Dave, we've got a nice weekend on the way, but we do have some cold temperatures to deal with first.
We do indeed. Yeah, even today, Michael, cold air was kind of just oozing into Colorado. We only made it to 65 for the high, and it's going to kind of strengthen once we get into the middle of the weekend. Let's take a look out our weather window, and we've zoomed into Denver, and the reason for this is our Lookout Mountain camera. Now, a lot of times, because it's so far away, it's a hazy shot. You can barely make out the buildings, but this time around, look how clear that shot is. We don't have much pollution or much moisture. It's dry, cool air that has kind of just settled in on top of us here and over most of the eastern plains. Now, I'm going to jump to tomorrow night here across the eastern plains here. We have frost and freeze advisories, freeze watches going on from Fort Collins back here and Greeley as well, all the way down through Colorado Springs, Pueblo, into Trinidad and Walsenburg as well. And Denver is included in this. Now, let me kind of explain what the difference between a frost and a freeze watch is. First, we'll start with the frost advisory. It is for the Denver metro area here in the light blue shaded areas, 10 p.m. tomorrow night through 8 a.m. Sunday. Now, a frost advisory is for when you don't quite get below freezing. We're going to get about 32 to 36 degrees here. So you may want to cover your gardens, that type of thing, drain your above ground sprinkler pipes if you can, or cover them. Anything in ground is okay. And in fact, all of eastern Colorado pretty much has a freeze watch. Now, those temperatures, which include Boulder, Greeley, Fort Collins, Sterling, all the way down through Trinidad and Lamar, they could get down below freezing as low as 25 degrees. So these are the areas you really got to take your freeze precautions on coming up tomorrow night. So you have all day to get what you need drained and covered and that type of thing. Anything in ground, we're still not expecting a prolonged hard freeze. So that is okay for most areas. Satellite and radar together. A few clouds moving over northern Colorado. That's connected to that cold pipeline of air. Big storm is up into Canada, and then everything's revolving around that back into Colorado here. And in fact, there's a cold front just passing through Billings here that will affect us coming up tomorrow afternoon. So here's the trough, keeping us cool tomorrow, cold night on Saturday, and then by Sunday afternoon, bam, this warming ridge really starts to take over, and we are back to unseasonably warm temperatures before we get finished with the weekend. So tonight, a few passing clouds, partly cloudy tomorrow morning around here. There's that little front in the afternoon that comes through. Could have a sprinkle of rain in the northeast corner as it moves through, dropping the cold, dry air on top of us for that cold Saturday night. And then by Sunday afternoon, it's out of here. Tonight, nothing really to be concerned with. We'll be in the 30s and 40s around most of the eastern plains, western slope, and we'll be in the 20s. Of course, mountains are already cold this time of year. So 60s out west tomorrow, 50s and 40s in the mountains, and we'll be in the 50s and 60s northeast, 60s and 70s down in southeastern Colorado. Tomorrow night, here are the numbers. Look at this. Greeley at 29, Sterling at 30, all the way down into La Junta, Lamar. Temperatures will be at or below freezing, and hence that's why we got the watch going on for those areas. So 60 tomorrow. I think officially tomorrow night we are 35 degrees, so not a huge freeze for us. 77 on Sunday, morning frost, sunshine in the afternoon, and of course that's the Bronco game. It's going to be nice for that. Cooler on Monday at 69 with the front, a few showers coming in for Monday and Tuesday, and then we dry it out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week with temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s, shooting all the way through next weekend and maybe beyond. We'll see what happens there.